Hello, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks. So, in this session, we'll continue revising the Python, okay, whatever concepts that are there, okay, and along with that, if you have time, we'll discuss the mock exam paper that was produced, okay. All right. So, in the last session, it was covered. It was taken by Mayur, and then Mayur sir, and then it was covered until week 5, right? Okay, so we'll continue from week 6. Okay, so how do you want it to be? Like, do you want me to discuss the entire topics, or else whatever topics you have doubts, do you want me to explicitly discuss those and then spend more time on that? How do you want it to be?
The entire topic.
Yeah, Ravitan?
So we
So
would
we can discuss the entire topic, which is important.
The entire topics you want me to discuss. Is
sir,
that
I
it?
would prefer if we are touching on topics such as object-oriented programming, because sometimes they are tough. So it would be better if we pay attention to them more.
You would prefer if we discussed object-oriented programming and then discuss that in detail. Is that it?
Sir, I wasn't able to hear you. Please, can you say that again?
Yeah. What do you want to discuss? What do you want me to discuss?
Sir, object-oriented programming.
That alone?
Yes, sir, because that topic is little more difficult than other topics.
Okay. Any other inputs on like what we should be discussing? Okay. So what we'll do is we'll discuss the entire topics. Okay. We'll discuss the entire topics from the dictionaries and sets, and I'll spend more time on this object-oriented program. Okay. Is that okay? Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So since this is a review session, I won't be discussing in detail. Okay. So one important thing we should be looking at is for the intern, it is not about writing the code. Okay. You not be since you not be writing the code, you just need to be understanding the code. Okay. Understanding the code is important. Okay. And then what happens after step by step. Okay. That is far more important. Okay. I mean, that is comparatively easy when than writing the code, okay, from scratch. Okay, so in term is comparatively going to be easy, but then there are going to be some tricky questions too, which you should be familiar with. Okay, all right. Let's begin the session. Let me start by sharing the screen. Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So after the week 5, we have this function. Okay, functions. I will discuss how do you define a function and then call a function. Okay, so the way you define a function is, for a function there are going to be some input parameters, okay, that it could accept, which are called as arguments. So it could be something like a, b, c, and all. Okay, and then what we have is we might want to do something with this a comma b comma c. First thing is we should know priorly what is a, b, c. That is whether a is a number or a is a list, a is a string. Okay, whichever one, whether a is a tuple, b is a tuple, or let's say a is a tuple and b is a tuple, but c is a list. We should be knowing all these things well in hand. Okay, otherwise it's going to be difficult for us. Okay, so now suppose let's say you know that A, B, C all are all are integers, okay, and they are like positive integers. So now what you could do is I'll write some simple logic. If A plus B plus C, okay, remainder with respect to 2, if it is 0, okay, then I will return even, okay, else I will return true there, and then else I'll return false. Okay. So what does this return statement gives is, this return statement is kind of like an output of the function. The output of like whatever this function is going to be. Now, whenever you're calling for the function, this function it's going to give you this output which you could store it in a variable. For example, when you're calling for this func of 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3. This func of 1, 2, 3, it's going to return either true or false. In this specific in our specific case, since 1 plus 2 plus 3 is divisible by 2, okay, is exactly divisible by 2, it's going to return true. Okay, this value it could be stored in a variable. Okay, I will store this in a variable called as say output equals to sorry, func of 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I can print output. Okay, as you could see here, the output that was mentioned here was true. Okay, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
What a function does. Okay, and then
Yes, sir.
instead of returning something, you could just be doing something else. Like let's say here, right? You could print true. Okay, here you could print false. Okay, in this particular case, this function is not returning anything. Okay, whenever this function is not returning anything, and then still you are trying to store the output of the function in a variable. Okay, as in this particular case, output, it's going to assign the output value as none. None basically means that it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't have any variable. It is like nothing kind of. Okay, so this will try to print it out. Okay, when you call for this func of 1, 2, 3, it's still going to print true, but then output value is not going to be true. Okay, output value is going to be none. Okay, as you could see here, this true was printed because whenever you call for this func of 1, 2, 3, it's going to print true. Okay, and then this, even though it is not returning anything, still since you have assigned the none value to output, I mean, whenever you're trying to print output, it's going to print none. Okay, is this clear? Okay,
Yes,
is this
sir.
clear? Basically, this is the entire part of the entire functions in a nutshell. Okay, so what functions basically does is it has some arguments. Okay, and then it's going to return something. I mean, it might either return something or it might not return something. Whenever it's not returning anything, that basically means the output is going to be none. Okay, so if it is returning something, you could store that in a particular variable value, and then use that value to do the other operations. Okay, so this is going to be the entire week 5. I mean, entire week 5. It's not the entire week 5, but the entire week 5 is based on functions, and this functions is going to be just this. On top of this, you could play around with the list. Like you could find whether a function. I mean, whether a number is a prime number or not. You could write a function for that, and let's say you have a list, and then you could return the reversed version of a list, or you could return the sorted list. Like whatever you could do inside the function, that is not restricted. Okay, you could do various things, but then this is the basics of the function. Okay, if you have any doubts in function, you can ask, or else we'll move on to the next topic, that is week 6. Do you have any doubt in the function?
No, sir.
All right, okay. So now we'll discuss week 6. Okay, in the week 6, it's going to be what we have discussed in the week 6 is we have discussed dictionaries, sets, and tuples. Okay. First of all, what is dictionary? Dictionary, it's like a key value pair. Okay, it is just a collection of key value pairs. So for a particular key, there is going to be corresponding value. Okay. So dictionary is that. For example, let's say you want to store, you want to create a dictionary where we have the like whatever alphabets you have, right? A, B, C, D, and so on Z. Okay. You want to assign a particular number to that, kind of like index. For A, it's going to be 1, and then and so on for Z. You want to have it like 26. Okay. So that is your key value pair corresponding to a particular alphabet. You want to you want to have a corresponding integer value. Okay. So now our key is going to be alphabet. A, for corresponding A, it's going to be 1, and then corresponding B, it's going to be 2. Okay. Corresponding C, it's going to be 3, and so on and so on. You could write until like Z. Okay, like for Z, okay, for X, it's going to be 24. For Y, it's going to be 25.
Excuse me, sir. You missed
Yeah.
a colon in C.
Yeah, correct. Thanks. And for Z, it's going to be 26. Okay. I did not write the entire alphabets because that's like very lengthy one. Okay, but this is the gist of it. Basically, we could have a key value pair, and like see, this is a key, right? And this is the value, right? So what this values can store, I mean, what these values can be, the values can be anything. The values can be a integer, it can be a, like in this particular scenario for the dictionary D, it is an integer, right? Because 1, 2, 3, 24, 25, 26, they are integers. Okay. But instead of integers, it could be float values, it could be again string, it could be again a string, or it could be a Boolean value, that is, it could be true, false, it could be a list, or it could be a dictionary again. For example, let's say we have student data. Okay, like for example, the keys are going to be the student names. Okay, so we can start with like something like Aman. Okay, we have Aman, and corresponding to Aman, the value corresponding to the key Aman, it's going to be again a dictionary. Okay, where the dictionary is going to be having something like height, which is going to be the height of Aman, could be like 167 centimeters or something, and then weight. Okay, weight 75 kgs, and then we could have the gender. Okay, gender, it's going to be male or female. So in this particular case, I just represent the male as M. Okay, and then what do we have? We could have, okay, is something like his CGPA. could have here CGPA. CGPA poem, it's going to be 7. Then, yeah, this could be something. Okay. This is corresponding to Aman, right? This is a one entire key value. I mean, this names it has only one key value pair. Okay, we could similarly create for another student something like let's say Ajay. Okay, for Ajay we could again have the entire data that is for height.
1 minute, sir. I have a doubt here.
Yeah,
Sir, can a dictionary inside a dictionary can have another dictionary inside it?
yeah. It could have like
Dictionary
yeah, like
nested.
yes. For example, here we could have something like parents. Okay, parents,
Yes.
and inside a parent it could again be a dictionary where it has something like father. Okay,
Okay.
father could be like let's say Ram or something, and then okay, mother. Okay,
Hello,
yeah, and
sir.
some other,
Keys must be haseable.
yeah,
Keys must be haseable.
keys must be keys must be addressed like it should be
So key
called
cannot take the values such like list or dictionary.
cannot take the value.
No,
I
means value
didn't
means it cannot keys cannot be assigned as for a dictionary or the list item.
keys cannot be assigned for a list or a dictionary. That's what you're saying.
Suppose that Aman is a variable we are taking as an key. It's an string type. So
Yeah.
we cannot use list as like this
No. You cannot use the
or
list as
dictionary
list as
because
a
I
key
think
value.
they only haseable items must be used.
Yeah.
In value we can take any type of data.
Yes. In value, you can take any type of data. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Sir,
Yes.
can tuples be included in keys?
Tuples. Tuples can be used. Yeah. Let me check that.
Okay.
Okay. Before we go into that, first of all, let me just show this. That is, how do we access data for it? Okay. For example, we have names, right? I want to get the entire value of Aman. All I could do is I just need to call names of Aman, okay? And then it's going to give me the entire his data, that is like height, weight, gender, okay? His parents' data, okay? So suppose I want to get the data of his CGPA, okay? From a list of class, right? It's going to be kind of like, first of all, we need to be calling that particular name who you want to refer to. I want to get the Aman data, and within the Aman data, I want to get specifically the CGPA. How do I get it? I get it by this. Okay. Since names of Aman is again a dictionary, I should again be calling again be calling that particular value, that is CGPA value, using the square brackets and then calling for that particular key. Okay, CGPA key. Okay. There's given me 7 because CGPA is 7. Now let us say we take one step further, that is within the parents I want to know the mother name of Aman. Okay, so now I need to get it names of, first of all I need to get the student name. Within the student name I need to go for parents. Okay, parents, and then within the parents I need to ask for mother. Okay, and then you should be knowing that since the keys are strings, right, these are like case sensitive. For suppose if you have it like small p, okay, it's going to throw in a key error, that is the key not found error. Okay, so you should be very careful about that. Now it's going to give me Sita. Okay, is this clear? Now let us check for the, now let us create a dictionary with tuples. Okay, This I'll leave it like yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
In dictionary, can we access by indexing?
Dictionary cannot be accessed by indexing. No.
Okay.
Okay. Now let me get. Yeah. So yes, the key value can be a tuple. Yes. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
For you to do this, for you to call for, but for
Because
you to call for
key
this
is not a
value,
hashable.
yeah.
Tuple is hashable, not a hashable. So that's why list is hashable.
So, but for you to get the value of 6, you just need to call the entire tuple value. Okay. Only then it's going to give you the 6 value. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now we'll move on to tuples. Okay.
Sir, 1 minute, sir. In the before function, I had a doubt. Why the none output is coming? I don't understand.
Here we are not returning anything. We are just printing a true value and false. Okay. We are not returning anything. Basically, this function is not returning anything.
Okay.
Okay. When this function is not returning anything, but still you're trying to store the whatever value of this fun in a variable. Okay.
Okay, sir.
By default, every function it will return none. By default. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Unless you mention any other value. Okay.
If a function of 1, 2, 3 inside print, then that time it will be written none.
Can you repeat function of 1, 2, 3?
Function of 1, 2, 3 in the print options in the
Yeah.
print.
Huh?
So that times it will be written true plus none. Is this correct?
It won't return true plus 1. It will either return true or none. Okay. In a particular case, we are not returning anything. We are just printing true value. Since we are not returning anything, the output is going to be none.
Sir, could you go practice assignment question number 5?
Which one? Practice assignment. Week
Week
5?
5. Yes.
Week 6?
Week 5.
Week 5. Okay.
Practice last. Go down. At the end. That is.
Which question? Question number 5, right?
Yes.
This one?
Yes, sir. So in this question.
No, this one, right?
Yes. In this question, we are not. Yes, we are not right print option. So how to print this first of none? I didn't get it.
How do we?
Here is at the end. Here I wrote first of none. So here we are not right print of first of empty. So how to print that? That's
Like here we are just calling for the first. We are not assigning it to a variable, and even we are not printing first. Okay, we are just calling for the first value, first function. Okay, and now when you call for this first, what's going to happen is it is going to call second.
yes.
First, it is going to call second. Okay, and when it's going to call second, it's going to call third. So basically, it's going to print third. Okay, since this third function is executed, and then it's going to print second, which basically means this second function is done. Now that the second function is done, it's going to go to line number 3. It's going to print first. So basically, it's going to print third, second, and then first.
Okay, got it. So question number 7. That yes.
Question number 7 retains some math.
Yes.
Some math function.
Here we are calling. Here it's two same functions. There are named same function by twice. So when we are calling, which one will be called?
The latest one. It's going to be the 2 cube one.
Which is near to print?
It's not like which is near to print. It's like whichever one is the latest one.
So
See, this
basically
is the
the
latest
function
one,
gets
right?
overwritten.
Sir, what will happen if we shift this print statement on line 3?
At if we call print where?
At line 3.
At line 3.
Uh-huh.
Then it's going to print. Let's check that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if it's going to return 4, which means that this is going to be executing. It returns 4, which means that it has executed this one. Okay, but then if you remove this and then execute it here, it's going to give you 8. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So it will it will execute the function before a print statement, before the calling function.
Correct. And this happens because we know that we shouldn't be calling a function before defining it, right?
Yes, sir.
Correct. So this we are calling. I mean, for example, here. We're calling it before defining this one. Okay.
Yes.
So whichever one is the latest defined, this is this one, right? For this, I mean before this. So this was executed. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir. Because Python don't know about the below function right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Another question I have. Another doubt. Question number 9.
Question number 9. This one?
Yes.
Print welcome
Where,
of 40. Welcome of 50,
why it
right?
is printing extra none? Didn't get.
You're talking about question number 9, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Print welcome of 50. You come here, it's going to be something like welcome of 50, right? 0 is less than, H is less than 18. Welcome boys and girls. Welcome ladies and gentlemen. Since our age is like greater than 18, it's going to print welcome ladies and gentlemen, and then it's going to print none. Okay.
Why we are not storing?
What?
Because we are not returning.
Can you repeat?
Because we are not returning, so it is
You
none.
already said.
Yeah,
You are
since we are not
already said
returning anything, see, actually this, when you just call for this welcome of 50, it's going to
It's
just
asking
print
for
welcome
print.
ladies and gentlemen. But then you are printing a function value. You are printing a function value, but this function is not returning anything. That is why to print none.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
This is
Okay, got it,
similar
sir.
to this one. This is
Earlier,
similar to
yes.
instead of storing the output value in output and then printing output, you are directly printing func of 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yes, got it, sir. Yes. Thanks, sir.
We'll continue with our discussion. Shall we continue?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Now we will move on to tuples. Now with tuples, what was tuple is okay, let's say we have this. We have this 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So the size of tuple cannot be increased. That is one thing. Okay. Size of tuple once it is defined, right? It's fixed. You cannot add values to tuple, or you cannot remove values to a tuple. Okay. It is a collection of values. Okay. This collection of values could be a list. It could be again, I mean, whatever values that can be stored inside a tuple, that could be anything. That could be again a tuple, or it could be list, string, integer, whatever. Okay. And these values can be, you can get that by indexing. Okay. So for example, if I get for this p of 0, okay, it's going to give you 1. Okay. So in this way, this is kind of like fixed size. This is going to have the fixed size, whatever you have defined. initially, okay, that's going to be of that size itself, okay. The only thing you could do with respect to tuple is kind of like accessing it, okay. You could be looping through the data. This is similar to the similar to the list, except for that like you cannot be changing the values in a tuple, but you can actually be changing the values in a list. That is, you can remove the values in a list, or you could add a values to a list, okay. But here this is like here the size is fixed. Like once you have defined a tuple, you cannot add or you cannot remove element, okay. The only thing you could do is if you want to, yeah. Huh?
If inside the tuple have multiple duplicates value, so it will, which one it will be removed?
No, it's not going to remove any duplicates. For example, 1 1 1 comma 1 comma 1, okay. Let me just print t now. Comment this. It's still going to be 1 comma 1 comma 1.
Okay, but yes, in tuple, is there any maintain ascending or descending order? Is there any maintain order?
No. This is a tuple is a ordered one, just like a list, right? It is ordered one. Since you'll be accessing it with the index, right? That is, you'll be calling T of 0, T of 1, T of 2. Okay. It won't be there in ascending order, descending order. For example, here you have this 4, 3, and then let's say 10. Okay. Let me print T. It's going to give you 4, 3, 10 itself. Okay. It's not going to change the order. All right.
Okay. But in dictionary, when multiple key are duplicates, same key are duplicate, which one it will be removed?
The latest one will be stored, and then the previous one will be removed. For example, we have this p equals to, for a, let me store 1, 2, okay, 2 or something, and then let me store 1 later, okay, and then b I'll have 3, okay. So basically for a key I have given 2 and then 1 initial. Now let me print D. The latest one will be stored. The latest one is just A1. B. We'll have A1 and then B3. Okay?
Okay, got it, sir.
Yeah.
Got it, sir.
Now we'll move on to the sets. Okay? Sets are unordered. Okay? Sets are unordered collection of data. But in the sets, you will not be having a duplicates, and then you won't be able to access the elements via indexing. That is, since they are like unordered, you cannot be getting the elements using indexing. Okay. So let's say I create a set, and then but you could be adding elements to a set and then removing elements to a set. That is totally possible. So you won't be having append here. This kind of like adding. Okay, stored add 1, stored add 2, and then stored add 4, stored add 0. Okay, let me print S now. Okay, it's going to be the 0, 1, 2, 4. It appears like a dictionary, that is this. The brackets are going to be same, but then it is, since it is not key value pair. Okay, this is a set. Okay. And then if you call for this print S of 0, which is going to throw you an error. Set object is not subscriptable. Okay, you cannot be using an index to get a particular value of S.
Sir, here we are adding first 1, then 2, then 0. But why, when we are printing it, the 0 comes first?
Why you are getting this as 0, 1, 2, 4? You're saying?
Yes, sir.
See, by default, it doesn't matter whatever order you enter, sets are going to be on order. Okay, the order of sets you do not have to worry about it, because even though even though it stores it in the form of like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or let's say 1, 0 to 4, since you will not be able to access it via the indexing, right? It doesn't matter for us. Okay, is it clear?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
And then it doesn't have duplicates. For example, we have already had this s dot. We already have one, right? And let me add one a couple of times, and then let me add two. Okay. Now let me print s. It's still going to give me 0, 1, 2, 4 because 1 and 2 is already existing in a set. Okay. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This covers the entire the week 6 contents. So if you have any doubts with respect to a particular question or like a particular concept, you can ask, or else we'll move on to the week 7.
Sir,
Yeah.
is there a way to find the cardinality of a set?
Set of strings.
Okay. The length of the set you're saying.
Yes, yes. So like without converting into a list
You can
directly.
print for this len of s.
Okay, it works. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I thought it doesn't work. That's why.
It works.
Sir?
Sir, instead, how can I access any particular numbers or any particular number which are inside the sets?
Is there any
method?
is there any way to access a particular number in a set? That's what you're saying?
Yes, yes.
No, there is no particular way to access a specific element. Okay.
Yes.
You can check whether a particular element is there in S or not, in a set or not. That alone you could do, but you cannot know the position of it. As I told, sets are unordered collection of data. So you'll not be able to know the location of it. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So whenever you call for this help of S, right? Generally, it's going to give you what all that can be done with respect to that particular one. Okay. Here, generally pop, right, with respect to list, it's going to remove the outermost element, but then here it's going to remove an arbitrary set element. Since set is like unordered collection, it's not going to remove the last element, it's going to remove some arbitrary element. Okay. Clear?
Yes, sir.
A set can contain anything within it, or like a dictionary value can be list or anything. So here also set within a set there can be any list.
Yeah. So suppose here you could have this like s equals to 1.
Sir, can you take strings as an example?
Can you repeat?
Can you take strings in place of 1, 2, 3?
I'm sorry, I'm not able to hear you. Please repeat it again. In place of
Can you take strings instead of 1, 2, 3?
M010.
No, alphabets is strings in.
Okay.
String.
Okay. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, you want to have strings. Okay. And then let me have one more list of E, F. Let me print the check. Okay. Yeah, you cannot be adding a unhashable elements to set. So you could just be adding the integers, tuples, and then the strings. Okay.
So could you please take one example where we have some tuple maybe within a set, and then we need to either find a particular element or loop through the tuple values, or some example that can explain how to work on sets.
Okay.
Thanks.
So, for example, let's say here, let me try this. We cannot add directly a list to a set, but we can try to, but we can have the list inside a tuple. So let me try this. Okay. Same. We cannot add. Okay. You're saying that you have some elements in a set, and then you want to find whether a particular element is there in a tuple, right?
And how to I mean, what kind of problems can be asked using a set, and how to loop through or reach those elements? Which commands help? Can a for loop be used? Very simple questions, because I don't know how to loop with set.
Okay. So you could loop through the elements in a set. Okay, for element in set you could do it. Since you know that 1, 2, 3, I mean whatever elements that are there in the set, right? Since those you know they are the tuples, what you could do is you could do again this for let's say inner element in element. Okay, you could print the inner element. Okay, this you could do, and then if you want to check whether a particular element is like equal to that or not, that is like equals to 5 or something, this you could check. Okay, like here we are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? You could check whether a particular element in a tuple is equal to that or not. Okay.
Okay.
Is it clear?
So this, now we can use any operation on these integers.
Yeah.
Okay, got it, sir. Thanks. And same thing can we do for a tuple, sir?
Like you can loop through the elements in a tuple, you're asking?
Yes, sir. If it was a tuple inside a tuple, we could use a similar thing.
You could do that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sir, here s dot add will take only one argument.
Can you repeat? If
here s dot add will take only one argument, like 1, 2, 3 under bracket, just only one argument, right?
Yeah. This is the one entire element.
Okay.
This is one entire element. So, for example, here, if I print s here, it has 2 elements. So, the first element is 1, 2, 3. Second element is 4, 5, 6. Like you could check for the cardinality of set, right? Print len of s. It's going to be 2. Okay.
And sir, there is no what I understand is that they are not in order. They're not stored in a particular order. So every time we print, the order can change, or it will always stay one.
I mean, so like for example, with respect to this, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the order is going to be the same. Even if I print it again, it's going to be the same. Okay, but then if you add one more element, then you cannot say what's going to be the order.
It may differ.
What?
If we add an element, it may differ, sir.
Yeah. If you add an element, then you never know where the position is going to be, where it's going to be fitted.
So could we add? We want to add in the inner set, which has 1, 2, 3. We want to add maybe 7. So how to add that, sir?
Okay, that you cannot do.
Oh, okay. That's what you're
So-
saying, that we can't be sure whether it'll get added to this or as a new element in the set.
Yeah. So like, I mean, for suppose you have this 1, 2, 3, right?
Yes, sir.
You have this 1, 2, 3, right? So let's say instead of this 1, 2, 3, you do not want to have 1, 2, 3, you want to have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
The only way you could do is first you need to know whether this 1, 2, 3 tuple is there or not. If 1, 2, 3 in S, okay, you could remove that. You could remove that 1, 2, 3 and then add 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the only way you could do.
Got it, sir. Thanks.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So now let me just print this. Okay.
Okay. It's printing in the same order, but we can't be sure that always it'll be the same. I mean,
It's not exactly the same order, right? Because here, this when I print S, ideally 4, 5, 6 is the first element. 1, 2, 3, 4 is the last element that I added, but 1, 2, 3, 4 came here. So it doesn't follow that. Okay.
okay. Sir.
Okay. Here it doesn't work out because 1, 2, 3, 4 is not there. 1, 2, 3 is not there. We copy this.
So a set is not like a tuple. We are able to add and change it, or same things we can do for a tuple also, sir.
We can change a set. That is like we can remove elements and then we can add elements to a set. But then what cannot be done is you cannot be getting a position of a, that is you cannot be indexing the elements of set. Sets are like unordered collection and then it doesn't have duplicates. But tuples what happens is once a tuple is created you cannot change the size of it. But
So
then what that is you cannot add or you cannot remove elements of a tuple, but it can have duplicates. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tuple will have ordered elements.
Yeah. You can use the index to get the elements of a tuple.
Okay, so we could use for loop there and
Yeah, you
same
can use for loop for everything. You can use for
For
loop for
set
set. Yeah, for set you could use, for dictionary you could use, for tuple you could use, for list obviously you can use. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Now we'll move forward. Now we'll look at the week 7.
Sir, can you repeat those? What is unhashable in tuple and list?
Can you repeat?
The unhashable in list. What are the things which are and list and tuple?
Can you repeat?
Yeah, I'm saying, can you tell what are the things which are unhashable in list and tuple?
What do you mean by unhashable?
Like whenever we give some element, it was giving an error, right? That unhashable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like when we are trying to add a list element to a set, right? It gave me that list is unhashable element, so it cannot be added.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what are those in unhashable? What are the things which comes so we want to use there?
What are these unhashable and hashable elements? That's your question. Is that your question?
Yes. Like what are the things which we will not use there?
Okay. So like we have something called this mutable objects and then like unmutable objects, right? Immutable objects, right? So lists fall under the category of the mutable objects. So like for example, we have this list of 1, 2, 3, right? Okay, and then we have this, we create this S equals to L. Okay, and then you make the change in the S, that is, you have this S of 0 equals to 0. Okay, now let me print L. Now initially I have this list L equals to 1, 2, 3. I equated this S equals to 1, L, and then I made this S of 0 as 0. I changed the S of 0. Okay, ideally I did not change L, but let me print L. It has changed the 0, I mean, it has changed this L also, because L and S, they are both pointing to the same object. Okay, so you could check for this S equals to L or not. Okay, it's going to return true because basically they both are the same. Okay,
You can take the ID.
here what this, sorry, what this mutable object means is that whenever you have this object and then like you make change to particular object anywhere, that's going to be reflected like universally. Okay, even if you make the change within a function, okay, even if you pass it, like generally, for example, you have this different func, right? A comma B comma C. Okay, let me have this like A equals to 2 and then B equals to 3, C equals to 4. Okay, let me have A equals to 1 here, B equals to 2, and then C equals to 3. I will call for this function ABC. Let me print A comma B comma C. Okay, I'm passing this values of 1, 2, 3 to this function. Inside the function, I'm changing the values of A to 2. Inside the function, I'm changing the values of B to 3, C to 4. Okay. Now if I print the ABC, the values of ABC did not get changed because A is an integer which is like immutable object. Okay. But you do the same for string or a tuple, okay, or a set, it's going to be the same. But then if you do it for, you do the same for this, that is the list, right? How, okay, A dot append 5. Here, instead of passing the A as a number, right, I'll pass it as a list. Okay.
Sir, here it didn't change. Does it have something to do with the scope of the variable or the mutability?
Yeah. See, for this mutable objects, right? The scope is like whenever you're passing it within a function, you are going to pass it by what is a copy of that particular value. Okay. So whatever values you change it, that's not going to be reflected. That scope is going to be only this local within a function. But then with respect to list, the scope is going to be like universal.
Okay.
Okay. So even if you change it inside this, ideally, if the scope is like global, right, it should get changed within the function, but outside the function, it should happen same.
Correct.
Just like the case of this A equals to
Yeah. Got it.
Okay, now let me print this. I got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5. But then B and C did not get changed. Okay. This is because the list is like mutable object, and then the other B and C are the immutable objects. Okay. So with respect to this, the questions which we will be asking, which we can be asking is like with respect to the entire week 7, how to go, how to look through the elements and list or a tuple or a set. Okay. that alone, if you could get it right, that is like sufficient. And then you should know whether you'll be able to remove elements in a set or not, like whether you'll be able to remove elements in a tuple or not. That it should be known. Okay, this is clear.
Can you repeat it again, sir?
So with respect to this this week 6, what we'll be getting is, we should be knowing, like we'll be getting questions regarding how to loop through the elements in a list, dictionary, or a list, or a tuple set. All those things we'll be getting, like looping through it and then accessing elements. Okay, playing around with those elements. That you'll be knowing. Okay, I mean that you should be knowing. If you know that, and then like if you know the restrictions of it, that is like whether you'll be able to get elements of a set through index or not. That alone, if you could know this small things, basic things, then that's going to be sufficient for the enter. Okay.
So complete 12 weeks will be important.
What? Can you repeat?
So all the 11 weeks are important.
Like this week 6 is going to be more important.
Okay.
Because it covers the important topics of this dictionaries, sets and tuples, and then week 7 anyway it's just a refresher. Week 8, the recursion part, it's not too much important. Okay, you could expect like only 1 question or 2 questions at max. Okay, it will be like one question at max from the recursion part, but the file handling is important, and then object-oriented programming is like equally important. Okay? And then in the week 11 you have this error handling, right?
Yes.
That is important. So I will say like week 6, 9, 10, they are like important. Okay.
Okay.
Sir, total how many questions will be there? Total how many questions will be there?
You'll be getting around less than like. Okay.
Sir, when are the mock questions released?
Sir, less than or equal to how many, sir? I don't.
20.
So questions of list, sir. I want to ask a question. Sir, questions of list comprehension, are they important? Because they might be confusing, so we must prepare them.
Yeah. You must definitely prepare for this list comprehension question.
Okay, sir.
Sir, that random libraries there, no? So on those also questions can come.
No. With respect to libraries, you will not be getting any questions.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Will not be.
When the mock questions released?
What?
When will the mock questions will be released, sir?
Mock is already released. Have been released. You could mock income. It's there. Okay.
Okay.
Now we'll move on to the recursion part. Okay. So recursion. Okay. The recursion, like the important thing which you should be understanding with respect to recursion is the base value, like where you should be stopping the recursion, the base condition you should be knowing, and then the link between the link for the recursion, that if you could know, that is like good enough. So for example, you want to do this A multiplied by B, right? Let's say I want to do this A star B. A star B is nothing but A added to itself B times, correct?
Yes.
A added to itself B times. So for example, if I want to do this A into 2, not A into 2, A into 10. Okay, A into 10 is nothing but A plus of A into 9, right? A plus of A into 9. So this A plus of A into 9, A into 9 is again a similar problem. Okay, so that you could do by recursion. Okay. For example, you could write a function for this like recursive function. Okay, of this A comma B. Okay. In our particular case, the base condition will be if B equals to 1 or B equals 0. Okay, if B equals to 1,
1.
then it means that A multiplied by 1, right? A multiplied by 1, then we should be returning A. Else, not else, if B equals to 0, okay, then we should return 0. Because A multiplied by 0, it's going to be 0. The other condition is going to be A plus the same recursive function we should be using to calculate for A comma B minus 1. Okay. A plus of recursion of this A comma B minus 1. This is clear. This is like what I told. So suppose if you want to do this A multiplied by 10, it is nothing but A plus of the same A multiplied by 10 minus 1, 9. Correct? Let me do this. Recursion of, I'll do 3 comma 10. Okay. Okay. So we should be having it as like 3 comma 10. It's going to be 3 multiplied by 10, which is going to be as like 30. Okay. Is this clear? The recursion part. This is the base condition, and this is the recursive part. Okay. Whenever we are having recursion, you should always know when to end that particular, when to end the recursion, and then you should know the relation between the current one and then the next step. That is this A comma B, right? And then the next step is going to be A comma B minus 1. What is the relation between this? The current step and then the recursion next step, the next recursion step. That you should know. Okay. For example, yeah.
Sir, in this particular code, we can actually remove B equals to 0, I guess, because
we can actually
we can if okay, I thought we can remove B equals to 0, but then I thought if the input is given as B is already given as the input as 0, then we cannot. Yeah.
Correct. So that is for other cases. I mean, you could even write for the case of B is less than 0. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Like B is less than 0. Then you could write something like valid input or something. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sir, if minus sign should come, then what will we do? Negative multiplication.
Can I repeat? How many?
If the answer should be negative, if A into minus 2 minus B, in that times.
Okay. So if B is less than 0, then what you could do is you could either do this like this way or minus 1 star of recursion of A comma minus B. This you could do. Okay.
Okay.
Because A multiplied, for example, 3 multiplied with minus 10 is minus 30, right? So, or it's going to be the same as minus 1 multiplied by recursion of 3 comma 10, right? So it's the same. Okay. even you could even like extend it to the case of A is less than 0 and B is less than 0, A less than 0, B less than 0. All those cases you could do. Okay. I mean,
sir.
this you could play around. This is like normal logic only. The important part comes here. This recursive step, right? This is like really important. Okay. And the other one is, let's say you want to do the A power B.
Hello, sir. If we remove LSB is equal to 0, what will happen?
Yeah.
That LSB is equal to 0. If we remove that, then what will happen?
Can you be a bit louder, please?
If we remove B is equal to 0, then what will happen?
If you remove B equals 0 case. This.
Yes.
This. So what's going to happen is, let's say I give you A as like B as like 0. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to check for this B equals to 1. It's not true. So it's going to check for this B less than 0. It's not true. So then it's going to return this A plus of recursion of B minus 1.
Okay, 0 and minus 1.
Yeah.
Minus 1. Okay.
So then now it's going to be A comma minus 1.
Yes.
A comma minus 1. Since in our particular case, since we wrote for this case of this B is less than 0 case, then what's going to happen is it's going to return minus 1 plus of recursion of A comma 1. Luckily for us, since we wrote this particular condition, it works. For example, let me remove this. Now if I write this 3 comma minus 1, it's still going to give me 0. No, not 3 comma 0. It's going to give me 0, but then it gave me 0 because initially it went to 3 plus of recursion of 3 comma minus 1. And because it is like, because this is like B is less than 0, it gave me minus 1 of recursion of 3 comma 1. Minus 1 recursion of 3 comma 1 is 3. So it gave me 3 plus of minus 3, which became 0. This we can avoid, right? This we can avoid by using directly ellipse statement. Okay. I mean, once you know that is kind of like a base condition or a simple condition which you could write, which you could terminate there itself. There is no point in trying to end it through recursion. Right? Sometimes what happens is you might not even like end it. Suppose you did not write this, and then you did not write this, then this is going to continue like infinitely. Like, for example, here if you put 0 or like negative value, it's going to keep on like reducing the value continuously. Okay. So we do not want this to happen. Okay. So, okay, the quick question for you guys. This is for the case of A multiplied with B, right? What about A power B? A power B?
Sir, instead of plus, we replace it by multiply.
Instead of plus, we replace it by multiplied, correct? Then here,
Yes.
B equals 0, then what's the condition?
1.
Huh?
1.
Yeah, then what about this? What if B is less than 0?
1 upon A raised to P.
Can I repeat?
0, approximate 0.
It's going to be 1 divided by 2 power minus 2 is 1 by 2 square, right?
Yes.
Correct? So now let me run this. Like, let me do for 3 power 10. I don't know value of 3 power 10, so I'll go for 3 power 4. Okay?
Yes.
The 9 nines are 81, I guess. Yeah, it gave me 81. If I go for this 3 power minus 4, it gave me the 1 by 81. Yeah, it is approximately correct. Okay. Is this okay? All right.
Sir, can you put some values in the recursion part and explain the recursive steps, at least for 2?
Yes, sir.
Like, you want me to show the steps that happens in the recursion? That's the question.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. I'll write for this.
So first take a simple program, please.
What?
Hello, sir.
Just take a simple program.
This is a simple program. Like it's not complicated. So I'll just write it for this. Okay.
Hello, sir. In this question, LA b less than 0, return equals to 1 by recursive of a comma minus b. So how to in recursive problem we are reducing value. So but here we not reduce. We just that condition I didn't get.
Yeah, we are reducing the value of b, and then once the value of b is like 1 or 0, we'll return the corresponding value. We know that a power b. So sorry, your voice is breaking.
Okay, if here recursive functions which are you wrote recursive REC of 4 comma minus 3. So here I cannot get 4 minus 3. Then how it will work? I didn't get it. We are not reducing. Then how do it will becomes my minus 1 or 0?
Yeah, I'll explain it. So when you give this minus 4, right, it is not equal to 0.
Yes.
First of all, it's not equals to 1 or it's not equal to 0. So it goes for this, it goes to this. We have here b is less than 0, minus 4 is less than 0, right? So it's going to return 1 divided by recursion of a comma minus b, which is nothing but 1 divided by recursion of 3 comma minus 3 comma 4. Minus of minus 4 is 4. It's going to calculate for recursion of 3 comma 4 and then do the 1 divided by recursion of 3 comma 4. Okay?
Yes. It will be called.
The answer should be negative, no, sir?
What?
Negative answer should be coming, no, sir, for the answer minus 0.0123.
No. 3 power minus 4, it won't be negative.
Oh, it's power. Okay.
Yeah, power.
I thought it was
power.
One more.
We changed it to power. So
Okay,
now
sir,
computing the power. Computing a power b. Using recursion. So the first step, the base condition is, I'll explain the steps, okay, for this 3 power minus. I will change it to 3 power 4, just for simplicity purpose. Okay.
Okay.
3 power 4. Initially, like the first iteration. Okay. Since b equals to 4, okay, it's going to return. It's going to check for the. It's going to come here. Okay. So it's going to return 3 star of recursion of 3 comma 3. Okay. Now to return this value, it needs to compute the 3 comma 3. So first it will compute 3 comma 3. So the second iteration compute recursion of 3 comma 3, right? But to compute 3 comma 3, it again needs to go here and then it needs to do this compute 3 comma 3, which is going to be equal to return of 3 multiplied by recursion of 3 comma 2, right?
Yes, sir.
Now to compute this recursion of 3 comma 3, it needs to compute the recursion of 3 comma 2. Okay. So now we need to, it will go for this. It will compute the recursion of 3 comma 2. So recursion of 3 comma 2 is going to be equals to return of 3 multiplied by recursion of 3 comma 1. Okay. Now in the fourth iteration, since we know, since p is equals to 1 now, okay, recursion of 3 comma 1, it's going to be equals to 3. Okay.
Okay, sir.
From here, it will go back here. I mean, the value of the fourth iteration, it's going to go back here. Okay. Now it comes to, now it computes recursion of 3 comma 2, which is going to be equal to 3 star 3. Okay. 9. Then it computes recursion of 3 comma 3. Now that we know 3 comma 2, right? Okay. Now that we know the value of 3 comma 2, that's going to get substituted here. Okay. 3 star.
So can you scroll up little?
What?
Can you scroll it up little? I couldn't see.
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Later we go for recursion of 3 comma 4, which is going to be, now that we know the value of 3 comma 3, okay, that's going to get substituted here. 3 multiplied by 27. Okay, which is going to be equal to 81, and then we will return this value. Okay.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Until all the values are substituted, I mean until all these values are computed, it won't return the value. Okay. So
Yes. It will be going on checking for the recursion part, right? Then
yeah,
at last we return the answer.
Correct. Okay. So
could you take 3 comma minus 2? So could
3
you
comma minus 0.
3 comma minus 2,
4.
not 3.
3 comma minus 2, it is just going to do this 1 divided by 3 comma of 2. Recursion of 3
yes,
comma 2.
then it will be again, it will become the that conditions.
Yeah, it's going to do again the same thing only. It's going to do for recursion of 3 comma 2, for recursion of 3 comma 2.
So it will
for
be
recursion of 3 comma 1.
times.
What?
Hello.
When you are calling, when you are given 3 comma minus 2, it will becomes b less than 0. Again, it will become b less than 0.
No. Initially b will be less than 0, but then since we do for this recursion of a comma minus b, later it just needs to compute recursion of 3 comma 2. Okay.
Okay,
So,
okay, it will be going to be, yes, positive. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
we'll make it positive to compute. Okay. And then at the end, we'll do the 1 divided by recursion of 3 comma 2. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Anyway, this week, right? We won't be asking too many questions from there, so it's okay. Now we go for the next week. Which is that week 9, right? Week 9. Before we do that, let me take a quick break, okay, for 5 minutes, and then we'll continue session. Okay.
Okay. Hello, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
How do I master in Recursion?
Can you repeat?
How do I master in Recursions or pattern?
How do you master? How can you master recursion? The only way to master in recursion is to find out the basic. I mean, the base condition you should be knowing. That is like when to end the recursion that you should be knowing, and then the link between the recursive steps, if you could know, if you know the logic clearly, then you could actually do the recursion. Okay, and it takes like lots of practice for
I
you to be very good there. Okay. Anyway, we
yes,
discussed.
I saw lots of question, but I can't find the recursive how to solve this recursive problem by recursive method.
Yeah, but
I don't
that's
know.
okay. That's okay.
Other types I can do.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So we could talk more about this, but then we are like restricted by time, and then for the
Okay.
in term
Yes.
perspective,
It will be
recursion is not very
okay.
important. So
Okay.
let's move ahead. Okay.
Okay, sir.
We'll take 5 minutes break and then we'll continue session. Hello. Hello. So yeah, let us continue session. Okay. So with respect to the weak hand, right? The important important things which we should look at is how to open a file. Okay, then like how to read the contents of the file. All right, and how to play around with those. I mean, how to use the contents of the file to store it in like in a way we want. That is like, let's say you have a comma separated values of a student's data. Okay, like for example name, gender, so and then marks in a specific subjects, height, weight, whatever, right? All those data, if you want to store it in a dictionary, you can do that. Okay, if you want to store it in a dictionary, you can do that. So for us, I mean, for us to do that, we know how to do that once we have the data, right? So for you to get access to the data, the main important way is like, so how do you know exactly to read the contents of file? Okay, that alone, if you know, then that's going to be entirely good enough. Okay, so for example here in our particular case, let me check if I have the files.
Sir, will we be discussing mock, sir? Mock questions?
Mock what?
Will we discuss mock questions?
Mock questions we will be discussing in the next session.
Okay, sir. What is the last date for it?
So last date for the mock, there is no last date, right? We could try it out like until the next step.
Okay, sir.
So will we get the solution of OPP2? Like I got one question wrong from file handling.
Yeah, you got one question wrong.
Like I'm not able to solve that question.
Even can you get questions from file handling?
I mean, I want the solution of OPP2.
You want to know the submission of OPP2?
Solutions.
Okay, the submissions, the data need to be shared with you. Okay.
Solution will not be good. That will be secret.
Yeah, the solutions we do not share. Okay. Solutions to the OPP data we do not share.
So we will get the submissions, what we wrote.
That too, I do not think we'll be sharing more.
Okay.
Sir,
So how can we correct us?
We'll be checking it like for us. For suppose, let's say whatever we have configured it, right? We have double checked it, and then like we have ran the code, so we know that it's working. Okay, so but then if you want to context, like let's say a particular problem was wrong, you could fill the form, right? You could fill the form and then we'll double check that. Okay.
Okay.
So coming to this file handling one, let's say my file, it has this file data of this 1 2 3 4 5, and then like 4 5 6 7 8. It has only 2 lines. The first line has this 1 2 3 4 5, and then the second line has 4 5 6 7 8. I want to show the entire first line as a list, and then like the second line as a list. So it should be kind of like a list of lists. Okay. Consider this as a matrix of like 2 cross 5. Okay. So first I should be opening a file, right? Open whatever file name it is there. Currently my file name is random.txt. Okay. Comma. It should be in the read mode. So I do that. Now I should create a list of lists, right? So for that I will do this. And then for line in here, okay. So even though it appears like this, when you're reading the data, it's going to have a slash n at the end. So you want to strip the slash n. First of all, let me just append the line directly. Okay. L.append line. We want to strip the entire the slash n part. So what we could do is line equals to line dot strip. Okay, and then since we know that these are like comma separated values, we could directly split the string into a list. Okay, so we could split it based on comma. Okay, and then for I in range of length of line, we want to convert these elements to integers. So line of I is going to be equal to int of line of I. Okay, at that particular index, right? We just want to make sure that we are converting the whatever value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Which are in string format, we want to convert that to integer. Okay. Once you're done with that, you want to append that to a list which you have. Okay, L. Okay. Now let me print L. Okay. It's always better to close the file. So we'll do this f.close. As you could see here, we got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So actually this entire part, right, this is for loop and like playing around with this, right? This part you already know. The only part, I mean, that matters with respect to this file handling is how do getting the lines data. Okay, that is one. And then the other important part is, since you know the format of the data, it is short, you can strip the data and then you can split it. Okay, you can use the data in whichever way you want. Since I know these are like already integers and I want to convert them to integers. Okay, so we will do the conversion part and then append it. Okay, for example, if it has been something like others, right, like name or something. Okay, then you'll be doing the corresponding version of it. Okay, is this clear what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
So, and again, if you want to write a file, so like let me name it like post.txt, comma, the mode is W stands for is write. So you could write it this way, f.write. I want to append the first 5 natural numbers. Okay, so which are like, consider like natural numbers start from 1. Okay, could either consider from 0 or 1, it doesn't matter. Okay, for a purpose, I'll consider it like 1. So f.write 1, it is kind of like adding the string data to f. Okay, so if you want all those integers to be separated by a line, then you should be adding a slash n. Okay, so f.write /n.
If you are not given slash n, what will be happened?
Can you repeat?
When you are,
if you do not give slash n, then what happens? Is it? Is that your question?
hello sir.
Yeah.
When you are not given slash n, what will be happened?
So if you do not give slash n, what we want the file to look like is, we want it to look like something like this. Okay.
That is similar.
Yeah, I mean, this is how you want it to look like. Okay, but then if you do not give slash n, it's going to look like this.
Okay, adding.
Okay, yeah, I'll do both. I'll do both and then I'll show you. Okay.
Sir,
Let me do it this way. Keep writing this. f.write 3.
Hello, sir. But we write slash n inside the means inverted comma. Then why it doesn't consider it as
Now let me run this. Okay, we need to close the file. Tuples. Okay. Now I'll show you the file which I have created. Can you see here? It has only this 1, 2, 3, 4. Even though we have appended this 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Everything, since we did not add slash n, everything came in a single line. Okay. So now we'll come back here. We'll change our code. Now we'll change it to slash n.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
We write slash n inside the inverted commas. Then why don't
Can you repeat?
we write slash n inside the inverted commas? Then why slash n is
No.
not considered as strings? How it take?
Sorry, I'm not able to read properly.
Sir, means we write slash n inside the inverted commas. Then why it doesn't take slash n as strings? Means
But why it doesn't appear when you're printing it? That's your question.
no, means why it's meaning as strings? Means slash n is a string because we write it inside the inverted commas.
That slash n is a string value, yeah. Huh?
No. She wanted to understand the escape character, sir.
Okay. You want to understand this escape characters. This slash is an escape character. Okay, and then the slash n means new line. Okay.
So I think her question is, if it is inside, it says quotes start 1/n quote finish. So because it is within the quotes, why isn't it print directly taking one slash? I mean, why is it moving to second line and not treating it as a string? I think that's what.
Because the slash is an escape character. Okay. So this is kind of like, I mean, there should be a way for us to tell that move to next line, right? So the slash n means exactly that. Okay. So
okay, sir, got it.
Slash n means move to the next line. I'm done with this current line, move to the next line. Okay. That's an escape line.
Write the whole thing in one line.
Yeah, we can actually write the entire one in the single line itself. That is, you could write it like 1/n, 2/n, 3/n, and then 4 you could write. Okay. So I could remove this entire one. Okay. I could do this actually. Let me run this. Now let me show you this. Now let me show you this in the file. Now you could see that we have this on a different line. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each came up in a different line. Okay. So
Can you also write it by separating it by giving the comma?
I actually did that initially, right? I have file named this random.txt. So here we have the files of this separated by comma. I have splitted the initially while I'm reading it, I've stripped the line and then I did split up the line. Okay. And then I converted that to a list. Okay. Same thing I have done. So if you want me to show that file, I have to show that file.
No, sir.
It's that was already displayed.
I'm telling about if you get any syntax error, if you do it in f.write.
Can you repeat?
No. If you get any syntax error, if you write it the same way in f.write, because here one \n, 2 \n, it is completely a string.
Yeah.
Can we separate each and every element of the string by separating it with a comma and the single quotes?
You want to separate each and every element by comma.
Yes.
You are talking about the code block 44 or 47?
47.
Which one you are talking about?
47.
It is 47.
Yes.
Here we cannot do the separation by comma. So for example, now let's say you are reading this file. Okay, you are reading the first.txt. You are reading this file first.txt, comma read. Okay, since you know that the format is of this way,
Okay.
it's going to be something like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? It's in this format.
Yes.
Okay. Since you know it is of that format, and still if you want to do split, okay, what you could do is let me create a list L for line in F. Okay.
Yes.
So line dot strip dot, if you still want to split, then it's going to give you it's still going to give you a list, but it will have only one element. Okay. So do the entire part here.
Okay.
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 I did not convert this 1 to an integer. That's why I am having it in the quotes. Okay.
Sir, actually, my doubt is not.
Sir, I have a basic doubt, sir. Can I ask now?
So 1 minute.
Yeah.
Sir, I'm telling about the same output which we got from the 47 code.
Getting the same output from
the 47.
47.
Yes. The thing is, why can't we give a comma at one \n for each and everything?
You want to have it like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes. No, not like that. One \n, that will be one string, comma separated, and two \n, that will be separate string.
Like this?
Yes.
Mean?
Yes.
See, if you're going to have it like this, then the data is going to be 1, 2.
No, sir. Closing it with string, single quotes. Yes, closing it.
You want to do it like this?
Yes. Is it possible, sir?
Oh no, this I do not think that works out. No. You can only write a strings. You cannot write it by this. Let me just run this. Okay. Yeah, it takes only one argument, so we cannot be giving you more than one argument. Okay.
Sir, I have a basic doubt, sir. Can I ask you?
Yeah.
Sir, in Replit, I'm writing this type of text files and all, but I'm unable to see where it is writing. Could you guide me in this?
Yeah. Can you share a screen?
Presently, it is not open, sir. Give me 5 minutes. I will share my screen. You can continue. I will share you within 5.
Okay. So this is all about the file handling part. Okay. The important part with respect to the file handling is you should know how to read the file and then like how to write the elements to a file. Okay. Remember the strip part because the strip removes the slash and part. Right? When you are reading a line, right? For example, in this one, right? The line is going to be equals to here. The line is going to be equals to 1/n. It won't just be equal to 1. It's going to be equals to 1/n. Okay. You want to remove the slash and part, so do this. Always do the stripping. Okay. Okay. So now we'll move on to the object-oriented programming part. Oops. Okay. Okay. And in the object-oriented programming, we write these classes, right? We have this notion of the classes. This classes, it has what it does is it is a kind of like similar kind of it has a group of attributes or variables, you could say, and then functions, okay, which are like specific, which has a meaning to it, kind of like, for example, we have the robot, okay, you're writing a game, okay, and then you want to create a particular object called, okay, we have the PUBG, right? Okay, gun you could say, okay, gun, AK-47 gun, okay, AK-47 gun you want to create. So for this, you want to have some attributes of the gun. For example, color, weight, weight you could have, and then so this you could do in like, okay, this init is the constructor, okay. So first is the A is the color. Okay, I just mention it like color. Okay, and then weight of the gun. Okay, weight of the gun, and then what are the attributes you want? The bullets maybe. Okay, number of bullets that are there. Okay, and then self dot color equals to color. Okay. Self dot weight equals to weight. Self dot bullets. This color represents the color of the gun. Weight is the weight of this particular gun. Bullets is the bullets of this particular gun. Okay. And then these are the attributes: color, weight, bullets, the number of bullets. Those are the attributes. Now let's say you want to what say? Try out a rifle or a short ones. Okay. You want to do it like reduce bullet count. Okay. Or let's just say reduce, okay, of self is the object, okay. For example, AK-47 is a type of gun, right? But then we have so many AK-47 guns, okay, AK-47 guns. So which gun you are referring to, that comes under, I mean, which AK-47 gun you are referring to, that comes under the self, okay. I mean, let's say I have a gun, and then like, or let's say a cop has a gun, okay, a police person has a gun, the army person has a gun. Each person will be having like different guns, right? For that particular army person, the color of the gun, it might be different. The number of bullets that are there, it's different. So for which gun you want to reduce? I mean, for which person's gun you want to reduce? That is mentioned by the self, okay, the current object. And then this is kind of like, I'll mention like bullets, okay. Bullets here, we want to reduce these many bullets. So self dot bullets minus equals to bullets, which basically means I want to reduce these many bullets, okay. Or like define load self, and then like bullets. Or you could, if you want it to be having a different name, you could have it like bullet count. Okay. These many bullet count you should be reducing. Here the same thing, we'll be adding these many bullet counts. Okay. Okay. So now let me define a particular AK-47 gun. So which is owned by, let's say, army person 1. Okay. Army 1 person, okay, he has a AK-47 gun. His color is going to be blue. Okay. It's a black color gun. And then the weight of it is going to be, I do not know what's the weight. 500 grams maybe, okay. 500 grams, and the bullet count is going to be 50. Now, if I want to know this army person 1 dot bullets, I want to know how many bullets are there. Okay.
So self is missing in init.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Now we have this. Okay, we should be mentioning which person, right? Yeah. So for this particular person, army one person, it has a bullets. Okay. Now let's say he used some 10 bullets for training. Now we want to reduce the number of bullets there. Okay. So army one dot reduce by 10. Okay. Now I want to know the count of the army one person bullets.
This is spelling difference.
Reduce spelling is wrong, I think, in the definition of function.
Okay. Now it's fine, right? So now initially I have 50. Now since I reduced it by 10, okay, my bullet count reduced by 10. Now let's say I want to load the bullets. Load, let's say 100 bullets. He's going to a war and then he's loading the bullets. So now let me print the bullets. Okay. Now it should be 40 plus 100, 140. Okay. So these are the attributes self dot something, which whenever we have this self dot something, right? Self dot color, self dot weight, those are going to be the attributes of a particular object. So whenever you're calling for this bullets, right? Army one. So the bullets of this particular person. Okay. So this is going to be this, and then let's say here you have this creator equals to, I do not know the creator of the AK-47 gun, but then let me have it like some XYZ, okay?
Kalashnikov, sir.
What?
That's Kalashnikov.
Okay. That's like some difficult name. I'll just have it like XYZ, okay? For simplicity purpose. Now, this creator, right? This creator, it's not part of the, it's not an attribute of army one person. Okay. He did not create the AK-47 gun. Okay. This creator is an attribute of class. This color, weight, bullets, right? These are the attributes of object. Okay. Object is an instance of a class. Like, for example, AK-47 owned by army one, right? That is an instance of a AK-47 gun. Okay. It is specific to that particular army one person. But this creator, it's common across all the AK-47 guns, right? It's not for a particular object. It is for the entire group of objects. So, or you could say like it's a class of objects, right? So this creator is a attribute of AK-47 class itself. Okay. Now let's say you are doing this. You are printing army one dot creator. It's going to give you XYZ. Okay. Or to get this attribute creator, right? Because for this particular army one person also the creator is XYZ. Okay. And then even for this AK-47, the inventor is same, right? So it's going to give you the same XYZ. Okay. Is this clear? What I'm talking about?
Army one.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Part of the function. Every function.
Yeah.
Sir. Army one in complete program.
Army one complete. I didn't get it.
Self is an object which holds army one, and the attributes, all the attributes, it will be carried forward to all the program. Program, wherever self is used.
Correct. So the class attributes can be accessed by object, because whatever class attributes are there, that can be accessed by the army one person also, right? Because for example here AK-47 creator is XYZ. which basically means the inventor of the gun which is used by this army one person is also XYZ.
Yes.
Okay, but the weight of this army one person, it's not universal. Okay, that is AK-47 weight is not universal.
Yes.
Weight is an attribute of a particular object. In our particular case, it's army one person. Weight, color, bullets are the parameters of a particular object. In this particular case, AK-47 is a class, army one is an object. Okay. Now we talk about the inheritance.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, just 1 minute. Sir, in one of the previous classes on OOP, you were mentioning that we need not write self dot if you're calling function within the class.
Yeah.
Could you please explain that, sir?
So there, like, if you're calling for the, I'll explain that. Whenever you're having this, the reason for us to have the self right is because you want to update that particular object's value. Whenever you do not want to update like that particular value, I mean, what I meant to say is, define number, and then n. Now it's going to be if I mentioned like even number. Even number if 10% is equal to 0, then else then false. To check for this even number, I do not need to know the object. Okay, I just need to know the number. Okay, so now what I could do is okay. Here I need not have this self because it's not relevant. It's not relevant for me what object we are referring to. Okay, this is kind of like a creator one.
Okay.
This is universal one. Okay, so in this particular case, I need not have the self. Okay, this I could even call by this army person.
Sir, are we having the global and local kind of
Not unknown.
functions in
This
sir?
you should only be calling by this AK-47. Yeah.
In this chapter, are we having some concepts like global and local kind of thing, sir?
Here you're talking about global local one.
In the examinations, I'm talking.
Yeah, it's going to be the same. For example, like whatever we have for this n, right? If you change it, it's going to be in the local one. Okay, but like for example, here you mentioned like whatever general rule we have for the functions, the same thing it's going to get applied here. N plus equals to 2 and all. Okay. But then if you do something like self dot something, I mean if you're applying for object, if you're changing it for object value, the self dot bullets, if you're changing it here, right, it's going to get applied overall. Okay, whenever you have this self dot something, then that's going to get updated overall. That is the reason when we loaded the bullets by 100, right? Even when we came out of it, army1.bullets, it was given as 140. Okay, this is clear.
So basically, for object attribute, if you're referring to any of that, we have to write the this is not possible. If it's a class attribute, then you can use it without writing self dot.
Yeah. But then if it is an attribute, right? If it is an attribute, then you can, for you to call that, you could either call it by AK47.creator or army1.creator. But then if it is a function of a class, then it should be calling only by the class name, not by the object name. Okay.
Sir? And sir, just one other doubt. If we are accessing one of those attributes of the class, like let's say I am going to modify creator.
Okay.
Then in this function, should I still write self dot or no need?
Last name.
See that whatever change you do, that's going to be there for you cannot be changing the class attribute. Like at least in this particular case, right? You cannot do that. So, for example, we have this army1.creator equals to XYZ equals to you could be doing it, but then that's going to be only for this particular army1 person. Okay. XYZ, I'll just change it to PQR. Now let me print army1.creator.
It's double M.
This has given me PQR, but that is like the temporary one. But then still, if I go for this AK47.creator, it's still going to give me XYZ. Okay.
Sir, what I'm asking is, can we change that AK47.creator to PQR, like how you assigned it here?
Yeah.
Same variable is.
I'm not entirely
That
sure.
can we do it in a function? Is my question.
You could do that in a function, yes. So,
okay.
Like for example, here define update creator. Something like new creator. Let me pause for this. This now I'll change it to Y. Okay. It's still going to be the value of it. It is like local, because of that it's not getting updated, I guess. Yeah, there is no way to tell that I'm updating this attribute, right? So
if it's with respect to an object, then it will get modified.
You could do it this way. AK47.creator equals to new creator. Now let me try this. Yeah. Hello? Now you could see
sir.
it.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Because here there is no way you're telling that before you do not know whether you want to update this class attribute or you're referring to some new variable, right?
Correct.
You mention it with respect to that particular class you're referring to, AK47.creator, then it's going to update the creator. Okay.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Here army1 dot reduce of 10. You wrote. Then you wrote print of army1 dot bullets. Why you wrote bullets?
Yeah, because I want to get I want to know the number of bullets that are there in the army then. Okay.
Okay, that is already stored.
That is already attribute that we know, right? That is
I
attribute.
think
The number of bullets of unknown, that is already known for us. Yeah.
So I think update creator, there you need to put self comma new creator.
No, we do not need the self, because first self is a whenever you're referring to self, you're referring to a particular object. Okay. But this creator, we want to update it for the entire classes. Okay, not just for the not just for a particular army person. Okay. Particular object.
Sir?
So the entire one.
Now
It's a
if
class.
we want to
But when you are defining this update creator, there you need not to put self dot comma this.
No, you need not put self, because you're not referring to object, right? So you need not put L. You need not put the self. Okay.
excuse me, sir. Sir, now if we want like creator XYZ, then how we can get like in 66 block?
You want to get the creator XYZ, how do you get it? That's your question.
Yeah.
You want to get the initial one?
Yeah.
Like right now, you will not be able to get it because you have already updated it. You're not getting the previous value. Okay. If you want to set it to the previous one, you just need to call the update creator and then set it to XYZ. So that's the only one.
Sir, if you don't know the weight of the bullet, so it would be like default value. Would it be the bullet, or what will be the default value then?
In this particular case, here
Yes, sir, for the object. Yes, sir, for the other object, for like Army 2. If you don't know the weight of the bullet, then what would be the default value?
Here we did not set any default values. For example, here we did not set any default values. So if you try to create an object without giving these parameters, right, it's going to throw an error. But instead of that, let's say you want to set a default value of 0 and then weight as 0 and then color as black, you could do that. Okay.
Okay.
This is exactly similar to the function one. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So, and then the other, like, we will not be asking questions regarding the inheritance part. Okay. So we will not discuss that. Okay.
Sir, I have a question. In this earlier we had printed AK47 dot even number. If we had done that for army 1 dot even number, would it have given the output? Would it have printed?
Army 1 dot even number? No. I have just discussed
Because
that.
we're not given self, right?
Yeah. Because we did not give self. Yeah.
What would it have given?
It will be
Error.
Yeah. So let's check for that. Army 1 dot even number of 5. Yeah. Even number takes one portion of it 2 or given because we gave this army 1 input we are given. Self we are given. Okay. So that's all from the from the object-oriented programming one. Now we look at the.
Sorry, sir. So which part did you say we will not be asking questions from?
The inheritance part. The
Inheritance.
parent class part will not be asking questions. So
okay.
Now discuss that. Now we'll discuss the functional programming. Okay. In the functional programming too, we'll be asking. We might ask only questions from this list comprehension. Okay. So we'll discuss just that alone. Okay. The way you call for the list comprehension is one second. Amit, sorry. Okay, so now for this functional programming, like let's say you want to create a list of like first 10 natural numbers. Okay, first 10. So you can do it like I for I in range of starting from 1 and then ending at 11. So it will take from 1 to 10. Okay. The print L. It's going to give me its enter value. The way it occurs is it kind of like this I is going to be the element. Okay. What is this I? This I is for I in range of like 1 to 11. 1 to 11. Okay. We are saying create a list of I. Okay. Create a list of I where I goes from 1 to 11. Okay. So you could do it something like I square 2 also, I power 2 also, where is I is in the range of 1 to 11. So basically creates for 1 square, 2 square and so on, 10 square. Okay. Is this clear?
Yes.
You could actually do it like something like if I percentage equals 0, else false for I in range of 1 to 11. Here what we are going to give is we are going to write it as like true or false. Okay, based on the condition of I. Based on the condition of I. And what is the range of I? The range of I is in the from 1 to 11. Okay, so it's going to create 10 elements. But then if I is 0, if I is even, then it's going to give it true. Otherwise it's going to give false. Okay? This initially I is 1, right? We started from 1 and 1 is not an even number, so it will be a false, false to false to false to and so on, like true. Okay, is this clear? The functional programming part, the list comprehension, is this clear?
Clear, but list of list I have a doubt.
Yeah, we will not be asking the list of list, so you will not have to worry about that. Okay. Just the basic list comprehension, if you think about it, then that's good enough. Okay.
Sir.
Yeah.
So this if else condition in this list comprehension is actually an inline statement, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Sir, in that previous code, sir, like even number, suppose if you would have used self, then we could have used that army dot then we could
we can do that. If you use self, then we need to definitely call it by army. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can we interchange the position of this for and if statements?
No, we cannot.
No.
I mean, actually, you could do it. Yeah, you could do it. Like, I mean, if you are going to do it that way, then it's going to be in a different way. For example, if you are going to write it like true if I personal 2 equals 0. Let me do it this way. Let me create a new list with I star 2. Okay, for I in range of 1 to 11. Okay, if I personal. Okay, what this means is we'll only we'll only run the loop for the even values of I. Okay.
Okay.
Let me bring up. Okay. Now you could see here. Previously we got entire values, right? That is 1, 4 and on. But now it's only for even values. It's like 2 square, 4 square, 6 square, 8 square, and then 10 square. Okay. If you do not want to run the range for all values of I, then this is the condition you should be using. Okay.
Okay, understood. Thank you, sir.
This condition is for the values. Yeah.
Can we write else after if?
Can we write else after if here?
Yes.
No. This is, I mean, this condition is for like telling the list to run for only this particular values of I, right? So why do we need to have else, right? Because we do
If I
not want
write else, it's giving error. That's what. My doubt.
Can you explain
because it
the
doesn't
difference
expect
between?
else. I mean, the sole reason of mentioning if here is to tell that run only for these values of I. When you're telling for run only these values of I, then what's the need for mentioning else? Because it doesn't need else, right? Am I making sense? Here, the reason here we had else is we want to store it like here the element should be some value, irrespective of what the value of I is. Okay. Even if it is like here, if you do not give else, it's going to throw an error. Here, if you give else, it's going to throw an error. Okay.
Yes, but that's what I'm unable to understand. Why looks like meaning is same in English, but here
okay.
In Python, it's
I'll
different.
explain this. So this is similar to creating n equals to empty list and then mentioning like while loop. I start from I equals to 1 while I is less than. I start from I equals to. Let's say this. For I in range of 1 to 11. Okay, if I percentage 2 equals 0, I mean, which is like checking whether it's whether it is the even number or not, then we will append it to. Then we'll append I star star 2. Okay? Let me just replace it by some other, I mean, different variable name. Now let me print P. Here, my purpose is I want to append I star star 2 only if I is an even number. Okay. You could see here both the values are same. Here also I am doing the same thing. Okay. If I is not an even number, I need not append P, right? I don't even care, right? I mean, I don't care the other part of this. If I is an odd number, I will not be appending it. When I'm not appending it, there is no need for me to write an else part here.
Sir, we can append it, no, sir. Else we can keep and we can just append I, right? We can do the else part in that for group.
Yeah, if you're going to do that, then that comes here. See, if you want to do that, right, then that means you are going to do that here. You want to do that here.
Okay.
Is this like a syntax in Python? Standard?
This means, what this means is,
Shortcut,
run only for these values of I. Here, what it means is, run for all values of I, but based on a particular value of I, append this value. Okay. If you want to do it like what you said is like, I want to append I star star 2 if I is even, right?
Yes.
Else you want to append I, correct?
Yes.
For I in range of 1 to 11. Okay. So now it's a print here. Or let's say Q. I change it to Q. Okay. Now it's going to be 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and 4, 16, 36, 6400. Here, the number of elements is going to be 10. Okay. But here the number of elements is not going to be 10. It's going to be only 5. Even though the range is from 1 to 11, because you're not appending for all the elements. Okay.
Whatever it is, it means it's like a standard for Python. If else is there, it should come front. That way.
No, because of that I power 2 is there in front. That's why, no, sir. You're doing
no, not power 2. I can write whatever I want. True, false.
Yeah. You could write whatever you want. Like, all I'm saying is like, if you are running it, if your list comprehension is something like this, then what it means is you are appending some value here. Okay, here it's like you're appending some value, but then based on I value you are appending something else. But you'll append some value always. You'll append some value always for every value of I. Here, what's going to happen is here you are not appending I value. I mean, you are not appending some value for all values of I. You're just, even though the range is from 1 to 11, you created only 5 elements because you are not running the loop for all elements. Okay, you'll append only if I is an even number, you'll append this. Otherwise, you won't append. Okay, am I making sense?
In 73, if I remove else, will it give error?
Yeah, it will give error.
Okay.
Because
So whenever
here you need
else
to
is
append some
followed,
value.
it should be in front.
Yeah, here you need to append some value because here the length should be 10. You should be appending some value, right? In this particular case, you'll be append I square if it is an even number. Then what about the odd number? It gives you an error because it needs to append some value, right? And then it does not give what value to append. That's why it gives you an error. Okay. In this particular case, the reason it throws an error for else is it doesn't care about the else part. I mean, it won't append the else part, right? It won't run the loop for the else part. Okay.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay. We should remember it. That's it.
Yeah.
No, sir, this is making sense. In fact, I had asked some similar question on Discourse some 2 weeks back. At that time, that clarity was not there. I had to memorize this. But now it's making sense that in one case, we're appending only if the condition is met, and in the other, we're just deciding what to append, which value to append.
Correct.
Okay, thank you, sir.
It's like the first condition is kind of like, let's say like some 10 people invited me to a party. Okay. This is like, this condition is like
one more thing.
Okay, let me just complete it. This condition, the first condition is kind of like me choosing which party to go to. Okay, that is the line number 72. This is like I mean, this line number 73 is like I'll go to each party. In which dress I go to, that depends. That's different. Okay, but I'll still go. I'll still go to all the parties like where I'm invited. Okay. Yeah, you can ask a question.
Sir, we can read it from right to left. Then it will make sense. Now it is easy to understand. Is it my way is true or not?
Yeah. Your way is true.
Yeah, if we make these steps from right to left, then everything will be easy for us.
Yeah.
Sir, can you give a similar example using while, sir, for while?
Using?
While.
While, like it's like, yeah, I mean, it's going to be the same, right? Like, while I is like, I is less than or equal to 10, okay, you'll run it, and then if...
Sir, can you write it in list comprehension? That.
Yeah.
So I'm writing it for this. Okay, I'm writing it for this.
Sir, can you write it in that single thing, sir?
What?
In that single list comprehension type, that kind of like how you've written it in 973. I know it can be written using a while loop also, but how do we write it using that list comprehension syntax that you have used?
I'm writing the list. See, I'm converting the list comprehension syntax to the while loop. That's what you want.
No, sir. I want you to instead of using for, please use while in that same list comprehension.
Okay, no, that cannot be done.
Oh, that cannot be done.
That cannot be done.
Okay.
Okay, only for
Why,
for.
sir?
Okay.
So could you explain?
Why can't it be done, sir?
Because for that you need to have the starting condition for I, and then you should be having a condition for entering the while loop,
incrementing.
and then you should be having the increment too. All that should be there.
Okay. Okay. So basically, while loop cannot be used in list comprehension because of that.
No, that cannot be used.
Okay.
So could you please explain practice assignment 11 to question 7, which is on list comprehension, sir?
Practice assignment 11, which one?
11 to 7th question.
Mock is not yet released, right?
It was released. Question number 7, right? This one?
Yes.
It's mock test tag.
Which one do you want me to explain?
So these two for loops, how they will work, sir?
Yeah. Okay. So x comma 5 for okay. I could explain this, but then this is like list of lists, but it's okay.
It's not going to come. List of lists?
List of lists is not going to come.
Okay, sir. I couldn't understand this is list of lists. So thanks, sir. Then we can ignore for today.
Yeah. Any other questions here? This is all I want to discuss for this.
If there is 2 for loops, it will be first for loop from the left, na?
No, this is going to be the second for loop. I mean, it's going to be like for y in range of 1 to 100, for x in range of 1 to 100. This is going to be the outer loop, and this is going to be the inner loop.
Okay, from left, right to left now.
Hello, sir. Can questions
yeah.
come on try accept?
Can you repeat?
Can questions come on try accept from this topic?
I'm sorry, I'm not able to hear you properly.
Sir, my doubt is there for files, sir. Shall I share my screen?
Yeah. Yeah, you can share a screen.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, Joshi, but can you be a bit louder, please?
Sir, can questions come on try accept from this topic?
Can system commands?
Sir, no, sir.
Can you just mention that in chat box, please? I'm not able to hear you properly. Thanks. Pawan, I'm not able to see your screen. It's just showing that Pawan has started sharing. Yeah, questions of try except will come in the exam, and we'll discuss about this in the next live session. Yeah, it can come in the exam. Can come, not will come.
Able to share.
Pawan, I'm not able to see your screen.
Yeah, sir. I'm unable to share it. I will try it the second time, sir. Please.
Okay. You're talking about where your file is stored, right? That's your question, right?
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, we could discuss it, but then that's not relevant to the end term, so it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I have run this program, sir. I actually this word.csv I didn't find where it is.
You did not even call that function, right? You should be calling that function first. In your main.py, you did not call the function. There is a matrix. You did not call that function.
Okay.
Okay, if you call the function, it will be there. Okay.
Okay. And where I require to see, sir, that one?
You'll be able to see that in the file section. The file, you'll be able to see it in the file section.
Okay, here itself.
Yeah. Not in the package itself, but at the top is here. Yeah.
Yeah. In main.py, there will be another
Yeah,
section.
yeah, below that it will be there. Yeah. Okay.
Oh. Right, sir.
Thanks.
Sir, when will we be doing this exception handling?
We'll do it in the tomorrow session, 2 to 4.
Do
No,
we
you're not
discuss
doing-
mock tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll
Mock?
discuss mock also tomorrow.
Because this mock is entirely different. This time.
We'll look at it tomorrow.
Graph is there and few other questions. This graph one is different.
The graph was discussed. I mean, the graph theory was there in CT, right? Because of that, it was there. Okay. But
In
we'll not
CT
have
it's there, but now it's CT it's long gone, right? It's 4 months
yeah.
before.
Do not worry about it. You will not be getting questions from graph theory in the intern.
So, will questions come from Pandas library?
Pandas libraries also won't be there. Any questions from libraries will not be there.
But why I gave it the mock?
That was
Graph is having 5 or 6 questions and if the library is lambda functions.
Yeah, the lambda one is important. I mean, not. Yeah, it's kind of important. Yeah.
Okay, because if mock is at least similar to the ended term, it's easy for the students to learn, right? If I now sit and study for graph again, it will take much time.
But you need not look at the graph theory, but other ones you could look at it, okay? Just because we give some questions in mock, that doesn't mean that same kind of concept will be there in the intern also, okay?
Okay.
Okay then. So we'll see in the next session, okay? We'll discuss tomorrow mock paper and then the exception handling, okay?
Do we solve some questions tomorrow or not like a previous?
Yeah, we'll solve the questions tomorrow. That is, we look at this mock and then we'll solve the questions.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.